From Dallas, Texas, ABC News correspondent over a really interesting story the country is paying close attention to. In Austin, Uber and Lyft are pulling out. Jim Ryan, take us through the steps here. Tell us about Election Day. What was the vote about, and how did it turn out?
Yeah, it was a referendum that had been put before the voters of Austin, Texas, a place where Uber and Lyft have been major players for at least a couple of years. The voters there deciding that they want to see extra regulation on those two ride-sharing services. There are smaller ones operating, by the way, that don't fall under this umbrella. Among other things, they wanted to see drivers for those two services fingerprinted as part of background checks. Uber and Lyft said that if that passed, the cost of doing the fingerprinting, of making those background checks a little more comprehensive, would be prohibitive. So Lyft and Uber have pulled out of Austin altogether, leaving people this morning trying to find a way to get to where they're going. Taxi cabs and those smaller companies stepping up. It's not dissimilar from the debate that's been going on in St. Louis and in St. Louis County, where Uber and Lyft have faced these same sorts of complaints from cab drivers who say that they should fall under the same regulation.
It seems like this fight is happening all over the place, but Uber and Lyft here in St. Louis and St. Louis County are working sort of outside of a court order, or as that sort of works its way through the courts. In Austin, I guess they challenged Uber and Lyft, and Uber and Lyft said, fine, we're going.
Yeah, exactly. And there are similar debates raging now in Houston, another big market, and also in Ohio and in California and other places around the country where these two services, specifically these two services, are facing challenges and being told that they'll face new local regulations.
It must be part of Uber's ultimate plan, because a background check and a fingerprinting is not that extensive. And how much money are we talking about? But that must be a line in the sand that they have drawn, that they will not budge on having fingerprints and or background checks the way they want them, because they're just drawing a line in the sand and spending millions not to have that done.
Absolutely. The two companies had spent a lot of money on a campaign in Austin, public relations and political campaigns, to see that measure failed. Well, in fact, it did pass on a very small budget of supporters of the proposition that wanted the fingerprinting done. But you're right. In places like Austin, the local leaders and voters have said that they want to have some say in how these companies are regulated. The companies say, no, if you want to overregulate us, then we're going to pull out.
Yeah. Any chance? What's the fallout? People in Austin freaking out when they no longer have Uber and Lyft to sort of take them to the bar?
Yeah, there were people showing, landing at the airport there in Austin, not knowing that this vote had happened. They pull out their app, their smartphone and the app, and try to come up with an Uber ride, and are told, nope, sorry, we pulled out of there. You're going to have to find a different way to get home now. Now, there is that upshot. But also, now state regulators are talking about sitting down with Uber and Lyft and working together to come up with some sort of comprehensive wide regulation. But in the meantime, the city of Austin at least is out of luck.
Yeah, really interesting. All right, thank you, Jim Ryan. Have yourself a good week. Thanks for checking in.
And go Dallas Stars.
No,
he
how about
didn't.
that? Oh, he bombed us. He voice bombed us.
He sure did.
Yes, he did. All right, there you go.